Hey guys, how many of you out there remember DJ Majesty and Izzy Ice? I want to talk about them for a second. I want to talk about their first record. And actually, even if you're thinking, not me, I don't remember DJ Majesty or Izzy Ice, there's a good chance you do, just under a different name, because they actually went on to change their name and later in their career and become better known as somebody else. But I want to focus on their first record, just because I think it's cool, I think it's fun, I think it's overlooked, kind of got a little lost in time. So here it is right here, DJ Majesty and Izzy Ice, Soul Man, on Scott Free Records in 1988. And I stress that because there's another Izzy Ice Soul Man Records on Jive Records from 1989. It's actually the same group, the same record. What happened was they put it out independently themselves on this label, Scott Free Records. It made some noise, so Jive Records, a major label, picked them up, gave them a single deal, and repressed Soul Man in 1989. And this 12-inch, though, is definitely preferable, not just in a, what came first is more of a collector's item kind of thing, but because it has an exclusive B-side, Freestyle Frenzy. The Jive pressing ditches that, forgoes that, and just has the one song Soul Man. It does have an exclusive remix on that version. I guess if you're a hardcore completist, you want both, but really, honestly, the remix is not the one you want. The main version of Soul Man is the one you want. That's on both versions, but that's on this, and this has the exclusive B-side, which you do want too. So this is definitely the version to own. So when Jive Records repressed the record, they changed their name somewhat, from DJ Majesty and Izzy Ice to just Isidore, aka Izzy Ice. That whole thing was spelled out as his name right on the record label. That's what his name was. And DJ Majesty, his name is still in the credits. If you read the production notes, it says DJ Majesty does the cuts and all. But it was no longer billed as DJ Majesty and Izzy Ice. It was just Isidoria, aka Izzy Ice. And that's kind of an awkward mouthful. In fact, I probably mangled a little bit just saying it just now. So naturally, I think, again, they're looking to change their name. And eventually they became The King and I, who released Contemporary Jeep Music. Remember that album in 1992-93 on Rowdy Records, which was the same label that You Also Stupid was on. And they had a couple big singles. They had Flip the Script was their first one. Tears was the second one. They had a song with Pudgy. Flip the Script actually became better known later on because they had another single called Crack the Weasel. And the B-side featured a new remix of Flip the Script by DJ Premier. And certainly, if anything, one thing the King and I are very well known for is having a Premier remix. Certainly, the world is full of a lot of Premier completists, and so they all know, the King and I for having that track. So that was their career in the 90s, but again, back in the 80s, in 88, they were DJ Majesty and Izzy Ice. This was their single, Soul Man. And what's interesting, what a lot of heads who know them from the 90s would probably be surprised by, is that this actually produced both songs by Hitman Howie T and Chubb Rock. So they came out of that camp. It's even on Get a Load of Fatso Year Music, which is Chubb Rock's publishing. That was just really where they came out of. Both songs, DJ Majesty does the cuts, and he probably had some pretty, strong influence in the music, but it's produced by Howie T and Chubb Rock. And it's pretty solid, although, interestingly, Izzy Ice's flow is very different. Like, if you know him from Contemporary Jeep Music and all, as sort of a really hardcore, raw East Coast MC, I mean, not super grimy or something, but definitely on the hardcore 90s kind of tip. And if you listen to this song, it's much more his flow is much more kind of like Fresh Princey, with a little bit of Black Sheep or something in there, early Black Sheep again, but more Fresh Princey, very sort of, he tells a very lighthearted narrative on the song. He's got that kind of flow, that sort of storytelling, probably geared towards a younger audience. And so maybe in one sense, you might be inclined to write the single off because of that. You say, oh, well, this isn't the Izzy Ice that I remember from Flip the Script and stuff that I had more respect for. And I can respect that. But if you can get past that, well, first of all, the song is called Soul Man because it uses the Soul Man song, the main sample, Soul Man by Sam and Dave, the big hit from the late 60s or early 70s. And they don't just use a little bit of it. They don't just sample it. I mean, it's got the piano loop, it's got the whole break. They actually use the chorus of the song for their hook. They really use that song. This is like the rap version of Soul Man. And that song is just a free win. I mean, it's just a great track. So anyone who's going to use that for a hip-hop record has a dope hip-hop record. This sounds really good just by virtue of that sample. Not only by that, I mean, again, if you can get past the flow being more geared towards the younger audience, Izzy Ice is still nice on the mic. DJ Majesty's cuts are good. They're actually more useful on the B-side, which I'll get to in a second, but he does add something with his cuts on this one as well. So it's definitely a dope track. And interestingly, the same year that this came out, Remember, in 1988, a lot of heads, who do know the song, think of it as coming out in 1989 because Jive Records was the bigger release. That came out in 1989, but really this came out earlier in 1988 first. So that same year, 1988, another group, Kid and Play, also used Soul Man for a song called Soul Man on their debut album, Too Hype, on Select Records. And Select Records was Hitman Howie T and Chub Rock's label, so they probably knew about it. I mean, they definitely didn't produce this. This whole album was produced by Love Bug and DJ Wiz, but they probably knew about it. I don't know actually then which one had it first, because they both came out in 1988, and they both use it very heavily. And then on the flip, you've got Freestyle Frenzy, and for a lot of heads, it's probably going to be a case of B-side wins again. Now, really, for me, I mean, honestly, the Soul Man sample is just such a free win again that carries it, and that makes it the definitive song. When you think of this 12-inch man, what you're going to replay years later is still Soul Man. But objectively speaking, Freestyle Frenzy is probably a little bit better. It's got another sample that you'll probably recognize. I don't actually know the sample, like what record it's from, but I certainly have heard it on plenty of other rap songs, so it's definitely a very recognizable sample. I'm sure you'll pick it up right away when I play you a clip. Otherwise, it's a little bit more raw, it's a little bit harder, a little bit more broken down. I mean, Izzy Ice has still got that kind of more, cheerful, friendly, probably younger audience geared flow. He definitely still doesn't sound like The King and I, like flip the script kind of stuff. But overall, it's a little bit tougher record. DJ Majesty's cuts sound a little bit nicer on here. He definitely works a little harder on this one, and it pays off. So overall, this is probably objectively maybe the better song, but Soul Man is just great because it's a fantastic sample and it sounds great and they use it well. But of course, I'm going to play you clips of both right now so you can decide for yourself.
We have put together a little form of entertainment for you. We have the record here and we're going to perform for you. Okay, now here we go.
Boom, blase, boom. I was chilling in my room, laying in bed watching Silver Spoons. Then I heard a ring, a noise I couldn't let alone. Then I heard Mom scream out, telephone, it was Sandy. I said, it must be Randy. Mom, I'm in bed, and could you please hand me the cordless one? She said, all right, son, that equals out to a sum. I said, come on, Mom, thank you. The ISIS resident. She said, would you like to earn some dead presidents? And I said, sure, I guess I wouldn't mind that. I got strapped, and I want you to write a rhyme black, but I'm sure it fit my criteria. I said, all right, money, I hear you, cause I'm a... Soul Man, the title of songs in the past, which has came off so New Jacks take a pass.
Pardon me.
What can I do for you?
Could you give me some information?
Gladly.
Sarah, Sarah, the lyrics never ran, but the rhyme go far, it's moi. Yes, ma, but am I? You ask, am I dope? I say, am I? However, I'm clever, so never will I get paid out by a punk or a chump for a stunt. He'll get laid out on the street, on the beach, he'll get beat. Maybe stay out, so shut up and sit up and get out. And just stay out, yo. Don't try to diss the ice, just call me Mr. Ice. Those who try to imitate, I will disintegrate. Don't try to come off this, I double dare. Like Vaseline, I leave you with intensive care, so there. Yeah, there can't be another, cause on the strength, I'm a bad brother, yo, slow off the tempo, so I can think a while, and play an MC like Nintendo, bozo, oh no, yo, battle me solo, though, you try to diss me, that'll be a no-no, many MCs swear that they can tackle style, I'll eliminate, like an elimination tournament, you wanna win, yo, just put the song in it, go to a printing press, and make a copy, but if I was you, bud, I just drop the habit, silly rabbit, don't try to grab it back, cause I'll be back to a track like a magnet, faggot, grab you up, you got hung, stung from, the Iceman, like Tyson, smooth window with icing, yo, go get a license, see them seeds like rice and peas, but please, don't be a flaker, if that's the case, I'll be forced to just take a title, life, maybe a break, but I'd hate to be a convict, FA's conflict in jail. So what I have to do instead is pay bail. A purified freestyle. A purified freestyle. Maybe, baby. You thinking I'm crazy?
So yeah, that was The King and I before they were The King and I. And yeah, not really the greatest record ever, but still a solid, strong record, and one that's been overlooked or really overshadowed by their later career, and it's worth kind of going back to and revisiting. you certainly wouldn't want to go nuts and pay like $100 or something for it. But it's a good, solid record to have in your crates. And it's a good one to kind of go back and revisit. And it's just really a cool piece of history to go back to and see where they came from. And that's really probably what this channel is about more than anything. So yeah, that's it. Till next time, thanks for watching.